Hi everyone, this is Perstal and welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a lovely day. Today I'm going to be filming a request video, and this was requested by Vintage Pointy Shoe. So hello and thanks for making this request. And what she wanted to know was my thoughts on the Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the PM size, and I have that bag right over here. In talking about this bag, I'm also going to be mentioning the Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the MM size, the Longchamp Le Pliage bag in a large size, and also the Louis Vuitton Speedy 25. Okay, so this is the bag over here. And overall, what I like most about this bag is that it truly feels like an everyday purse. When I'm carrying the Neverfull MM and the Le Pliage bag, I feel like I'm going to work or I'm traveling. Whereas with this one, it feels like it's a very manageable purse. I think sometimes with bigger bags, we put more things in it because it looks better filled or because we have the space. And it just ends up being just too heavy for everyday purposes. And so I really like how this bag allows you to, like just choose what you really need for the day. And I think for some people, this bag can look really proportional to their frame and not just be overwhelming. Okay, so I'm going to review this bag and talk about sort of the top to the bottom. So the first thing I want to talk about with this bag are the straps. And so right now you can see that my straps still stand up, which I really like. But I know over time they're going to soften and they're going to flop over. And so since this is a really small bag already, it's important to keep that in mind that like once the straps start to flop over, it's going to make the bag look even smaller than it already is. And you have to ask yourself whether you like that look or not. I guess I'll be okay with it when it happens, but I do like the straps being high up like this. The strap drop between this one and the MM size is about 1 inch, and I find that 1 inch the difference between making the straps okay and making the straps much more comfortable. And so I prefer a longer strap drop, and I think that is something that, if this was just a little bit longer, that would be great. For my Longchamp Le Pliage bag, the strap drop is really great, right? So it's really long, and so you can actually take one hand and one arm and sling this over your shoulder. Whereas with both of these Neverfulls, actually, you have to use both arms. Like you have to use your other hand to slide it up your shoulder of your other shoulder. And so it is a little bit fussy in that sense. If you do want a bag that just kind of like flings over your shoulder without getting, let's say, your elbow caught, and just use one arm, is the Louis Vuitton Totally MM, because I had purchased that bag and I ended up returning it, but at the time I really liked how I could just slide it over my shoulder easily. And so these ones are harder to do that, and especially the PM size. But one of the ways I go around doing that, that problem, is I do carry this bag a lot, sort of just like hanging from my hand, and it's very comfortable that way. And if I need to, I'll also put it on the crook of my arm, just the way that I do with my Speedy. And so while the handles could be a little bit longer, I think they're okay, especially since this untreated leather is a lot softer than the ebene leather. So if you had this bag in the ebene print, just keep in mind that it might even be stiffer and therefore feel even tighter. When you have this bag full, it is hard to keep your arms to your side. Like it's going to puff out on the side, and therefore it might push your arms out. The way that I go around is I swing it sort of behind me on my back, but because it's so short, it's very tight. And I mentioned in other videos that I'm not very big, so I by no means have big arms, and so that's, I think it's something that maybe it's best if you try it out at the store, but you can get it sort of like swung to your back if you really force it, and perhaps it'll stretch a little bit over time, especially with this untreated leather. Okay, so that's, I think, what I want to say about the handles. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about are these cinchers at the side. And so just to let you know, I've never actually cinched this bag because I think it's already really small, that, and the amount that it cinches proportionally is not that big of a difference. Like, for example, if I push this in right now, it doesn't really make the bag that much smaller, and it just seems like a hassle to do that, so I don't do that. Whereas if you have the bigger Neverfulls, when you cinch it in, it makes a bigger difference. So I don't cinch in the sides for this bag. Okay, so in terms of like the height of this bag, the difference between this one and this one is about 2.5 inches. And if you're used to using the Neverfull MM, it will be quite an adjustment because you will feel like this bag is very shallow, especially since that even if you fill it to the brim, you have to keep in mind that, you want to be able to close it, I would want to be able to close it, right? Okay, so, it isn't you know, it might just be better to like get a ruler and just like see if it works for you in real life. Okay, in terms of the open top, I do actually like the open top because I feel like I can get my items in and out easily. What fits in this bag is similar to my Louis Vuitton Speedy 25. And with this bag, obviously it's harder to get things in and out of, especially with like a smaller opening. And so I really like that about this bag. And plus I do want to show off the beautiful fuchsia lining. Okay, so one of the ways that I get around, let's say, things just completely falling out is a few things which I'll show you in a second. I do want to mention though that I had this bag tip over before, and when I haven't packed it nicely, things do fall out of it, but I think that's just the nature of open top bags. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the inside. So the inside has one zippered pocket, and it also has one D-ring over here. Sorry, it's not focusing right now. Okay, so one zipper pocket and one D-ring on the side. And for your small items, like for example, my clay and my phone, those can go in the zipper pocket really easily, so I won't worry about that falling out. What I've done with my keys is I've attached it to this key ring here that opens and closes pretty easily, so you know, if the keys do fly out, you never actually have them go missing. And so you can either get something like this, or you can get the Louis Vuitton ring keychain or whatever, and just keep your keys clipped in. And the next thing that I do is I put, you know, sort of like my medium-sized items, and I just line them up like that. I have my makeup case, and I have my bigger wallet from Prada. And then what I would do is I would take my sort of like biggest item that can kind of go on top. So in this case, I have this Sephora bag that sometimes I put a snack in. I could just put that at the top, so it almost acts like a blanket over my items, and then I can cinch it closed. And then so when things fall, that blanket kind of like prevents things from falling out. And if you see that once it's cinched in like this, the openings are not that big anyways. If you do leave it open, of course, that's when, you know, things can fall out. But I think it is a trade-off between accessibility and I guess the security. But I do feel safe carrying this bag. As I said before, the holes on the side are a lot smaller than the holes on the Neverfull. But I do know that when people use the Neverfull MM, they also do tricks like, you know, put their scarf at the top, or like their like jacket or something like that, so it acts like a blanket and as a covering for the top. So overall, I really like this bag. I definitely recommend it, knowing all of its benefits and its cons. Having said that, I know in another video I did mention I wanted to get this in the bigger size, and it's something that I do think about too. And it's not because I don't like this bag, but because I just like the Neverfull in general, and I can see the different sizes work for different uses. Okay, so I think that's all I want to mention for now. In case I forget anything, please just make a comment down below and I will answer individual questions, or I can make another video about this. But yeah, I really like this bag, and thank you for watching this video, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!